the most satisfying inventions in the world. Hello lovely YouTube family, welcome back to Bite Me. In today's videos, we're going to talk about the most satisfying inventions in the world. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. There are so many satisfying inventions done in the world. These most satisfying inventions have made our work easier, and with the help of these inventions, we can do our work quickly. The technology behind the inventions are very innovative. Number 1. Fire. Although fire wasn't technically invented, the ability to control fire was both fundamental and crucial for human civilization. Ancient humans who walked the earth around 2 million years ago discovered to use fire for their benefit, but it wasn't until 125,000 years ago that fire was fully utilized to the point where it was considered a tool. Apart from giving us warmth in the cold and light in the dark, fire led us to develop skills like cooking. The ability to prepare healthier food and cleaner drinking water helped ensure to keep humans survive, but also higher intelligence due to proper nutrient intake. Number 2. Wheel. Many people think that the wheel is the greatest invention of all time. Around 3500 BCE, the Mesopotamians invented the wheel, but mainly for pottery making. It took about 3 centuries before the first wheel was attached to a chariot, and it could only get better after that. In our modern life, we take the wheel as a ubiquitous piece of engineering that we rarely pay attention to. Before this invention came to surface, humans were limited in terms of transportation and haulage. That being said, the wheel was only one part of another life-changing invention, the wheel and axle. In other words, the idea of attaching a wheel to a non-moving platform in a proper configuration so the two could work together. Number 3. Nail. Just like a building, human civilization would crumble without nails. Before these metal fasteners came to be, wooden structures were built by attaching each piece to another one by one through exhausting geometrical work. Nails have been used since around 3400 BCE by the people of ancient Egypt. They were fully developed in ancient Rome when people learned how to cast and shape metals. Screws, on the other hand, were used for the first time in ancient Greece around the 2nd century of BCE. You may find it hard to believe, but only until the 1800s, most nails were made from hand-wrought iron. Blacksmiths had to hammer the iron and make an arrow-like shape out of it. One of the first nail-making machines appeared in the 1790s. Number 4. Optical lenses. The development of optical lenses was pioneered by the Mesopotamians and Egyptians. Nowadays, optical lenses are used in various tools like telescopes and microscopes. Magnifying lenses led humans to better understand faraway objects like stars and other planets, as well as microscopic organisms. The use of optical lenses as aids for the weak-sighted started in the 13th century, and about 4 centuries later, the microscope and telescope became available. Magnifying lenses expanded our knowledge of various fields of study, including biology, astronomy, archaeology, chemistry, and physics. Number 5. Compass. Magnetic compasses have lost their place as the prominent navigational equipment to global positioning systems and satellites, but their importance in history, especially in the field of land and sea exploration, will always be remembered. A lodestone, a naturally magnetized mineral, was used to make early compasses in China around 300 to 200 BCE. Before these compasses, navigational systems mainly relied on astronomical signs. The compass was the single object that brought to us the age of discovery. It played an important role in the development of European countries in their efforts to gain wealth and power that eventually led to the Industrial Revolution. Number 6. Paper currency. Before money, trade was the commercial exchange of goods and services. Money took various forms throughout history, including precious metals, coins, food, vegetables, livestock, and anything else useful as tradable bartering assets. Again, China was the first to make use of paper money in the 9th century, and Europe followed suit in the late 1600s. Despite having no intrinsic value and initially being used as a legal binding note issued by banks as a promise of future payments, paper money soon became the most common bartering asset to purchase goods and services. Paper money started a new era of trade that transformed the face of economics on a global scale. Number 7. Gunpowder. Gunpowder was invented in China and made available around the same time as paper money. Gunpowder has always been a major factor in military and warfare. It took part in deciding the course of history through wars. Number 8. Printing press. Thanks to Johannes Gutenberg, the spread of knowledge and historical records reached an unprecedented pace. In 1439, he revolutionized note-making, turning it from a handwritten form to a printed one. He devised the equipment that would allow ink to be transferred to pieces of paper repeatedly, making the entire process of writing much quicker than it had ever been before. Before the internet, no single innovation contributed more to educating the world. Gutenberg built his equipment based on existing presses with the use of a mold to increase production speed and capacity of lead alloy type pieces. Not only was the assembly effective, but it also made books much more affordable for the lower classes. By 1600, the Gutenberg presses printed more than 200 million books. Number 9. Electricity. It would be unfair to credit the invention of electricity to one person, as the idea developed throughout thousands of years. Thales of Miletus was the first to research the phenomenon, but Benjamin Franklin is generally regarded as an American Renaissance man who helped us get a better understanding of electricity. It is certainly impossible to overestimate the importance of electricity in human civilization, and even coffee machines are the extensions of electricity's potentials. We have arrived at a point where we can safely say that we can't live without electricity. Number 10. Steam engine. In 1781, James Watt patented a steam engine capable of continuous rotary motion that he invented somewhere between 1763 and 1775. Soon enough, his engine became the driving force in the mining industry, factories, ships, trains, and the Industrial Revolution as a whole. Throughout the 1800s, the steam engine played a major part in the exponential growth and advancement in manufacturing, agriculture, and transportation. James Watt's steam engine design continued to be modernized by others over time. The latest major evolution of it was the steam turbine, which powers most of the electricity in the United States using various heat sources. Number 11. Steel. The unaware will think that steel is a naturally occurring metal, but it isn't. Steel is an alloy comprised of mostly iron and a very small percentage of carbon. The utilization of various metals such as iron and bronze started earlier than 4,000 years ago, but steel took a prominent role in human civilization during the Industrial Revolution. Mass production of steel began in the 1850s using the Bessemer process, a technique used to create steel by using molten pig iron. Since then, steel has been used in the construction of everything from bridges and houses to engines and skyscrapers. Number 12. Antibiotics. Joseph Lister and Louis Pasteur were the first to start the war against bacteria, but it was Alexander Fleming who propelled the medical world to take a giant leap ahead in the same battle thanks to his discovery, albeit accidental, of the bacteria-inhibiting mold we now call penicillin in 1928. Penicillin proved to be a major step toward in the world of antibiotics and was used widely throughout the 20th century. Although Fleming eventually abandoned his works on penicillin in the 1940s, his findings were further researched at the Radcliffe Infirmary in Oxford by Howard Florey and Ernst Boris Chain, funded by the US and British governments. Penicillin finally entered mass production after the Pearl Harbor bombing. In fact, by 1944, we had enough penicillin to treat all the wounded Allied forces in World War II. Deaths by bacterial infection dropped to only 1% in World War II from 20% in the previous war. Penicillin is effective at fighting all kinds of infections such as influenza, tuberculosis, and other sexually transmitted diseases. Number 13. Paper. Another invention out of China is paper. Since 100 BCE, people all around the world have been using it to keep historical records and pass on knowledge to the next generation. Number 14. Automobile. The steam engine cleared the path for the Industrial Revolution, and the automobile came out of it. While automobiles are not the first means of land transportation, the way that it's propelled by the engine makes traveling much quicker. The automobile is also a combination of many inventions. Some people may even say that it's like a small home filled with a collection of innovations including wheels, internal combustion, the radio, air conditioning, batteries, and in some cases, the refrigerator. Number 15. Indo-Arabic numeral system. The counting system comprised of 10 numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Along with their positional numerical values, 123 refers to 100 plus 20 plus 3 is now used as the foundation in most, if not all, quantitative sciences including mathematics and economy. Development started in India before being adopted by the Arabs, the Europeans, and then it was used worldwide. And that is it for today, folks. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.